And in the French ski resort of Les Ors, 36 people were injured, 18 of them seriously, when two small cable cars crashed to the ground. Rescuers called in army helicopters to ferry the injured to nearby hospitals. Most suffered broken bones when the cable cars fell 40 feet. Resort officials say the system was only 3 years old and had been passed by safety experts before the start of this year's season. The Foreign Secretary, Sir Geoffrey Howe, has called on the Russians to pull out their troops from Afghanistan. And 7 years after the Soviet invasion, Sir Geoffrey accused Moscow of trying to keep secret the realities of a bitter and repressive war.
Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in Hyde Park to pray for Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan and to listen to an hour of anti-communist speeches. Speakers range from a Polish solidarity worker to Muslim fundamentalists. Then a march down the Bayswater Road and past the Soviet embassy. Organisers claimed the demonstration was better attended than in previous years, but it was clear that almost all the protesters were expatriates of Afghanistan and its neighbours. Any Soviets monitoring the march, as it was not allowed near the embassy compound, will have noted that the British public did not take part in any numbers. A small delegation was allowed to deliver a petition, but the majority had to be content with chanting outside and almost out of earshot. David Cass, ITN in West London.
The Merchant Navy Officers Union has called for an official inquiry into the loss of the tanker Sinetta off Iceland yesterday. All 12 crew, including 6 Britons, are presumed dead. The ship was British-owned but registered in Gibraltar.
As the search continued for the bodies of the 3 missing crewmen, the Icelandic government announced an inquiry into how the Sinetta hit a reef off the Skruder rock. They will be asking first, why did the Sinetta stray off course? The normal shipping route into Eskifjordur would bring her safely clear of the rock. But second, once off course, why did the Sinetta hit Skruder rock? There is a lighthouse nearby intended to warn shipping away from it, and the rock's large enough to give a clear radar signal. A letter found on one crewman's body gives a clue. He said the ship could only go at 5 miles an hour and her autopilot wasn't working.
If the autopilot was giving problems, that could be as a result of the gyro compass giving problems, and that in turn would make them unsure of their position.
But why, too, did the crew jump overboard into icy seas when the ship was aground and listing badly on the reef, but was not sinking?
Sitting here in the comfort of my home, I certainly can't say what conditions were like at the moment they jumped over. However, my union has been trying to persuade people to carry survival suits on ships which go into those latitudes.
Now concerns about the safety standards of Gibraltar-registered vessels like the Sinetta mean there's growing pressure on the British government to hold its own inquiry into her loss.
Now, with news of another busy day of sport, both here and in Australia, here's Giles Smith.
Yes, Arsenal win their centenary match against Southampton, but only just. Brian Robson suffers another injury and is out of action again, and England are well placed in the 4th test in Melbourne. But first, football. There were balloons at Highbury to celebrate Arsenal's 100th birthday at the start of the game, but probably the biggest birthday present was Charlie Nicholas, back starting a match in the number 10 shirt for the first time since September. From the start, he was a class above the rest, here almost scoring from a Quinn header. Here, back heeling for Paul Davis to go close. And having a go himself. But despite all the pressures, Arsenal couldn't score, and even the man who looked so like George Best seemed fallible. At half-time, a parade of Arsenal veterans, among them immortals like Mercer, Drake and Kelsey, came on to help the celebrations, but even they couldn't help Arsenal get the goal they deserved. All they got was more chaos in the Southampton penalty area. Until with just 15 minutes to go, Steve Williams decided to go it alone, the goalpost intervened, and Quinn had the easiest task. With Nicholas back in the number 10 shirt, Arsenal's championship hopes are well alive. Arsenal 1, Southampton 0.
As Manchester United took on Norwich, Brian Robson was moving backwards. Today he was in the back 4, but still launching assaults down the middle. Then it was centre-back Robson who should have turned goal-scorer. But just inside the second half, the jinx that has dogged the England captain returned to haunt him again. A seemingly routine tackle, ending with the all-too-familiar sight. This time, the same hamstring that's gone before. With Robson off to the treatment table, the defence regrouped and promptly fell apart. half of them chasing the ball, the rest failing to spot the real danger from Kevin Drinkle. It was the first time Norwich had scored here for a decade. They celebrated by almost getting another. This time it was Biggins on the run through, United standing still. But if keeper Walsh kept them in the game, it was Bryn Gunn at the other end who finally kept United out, diving bravely at Gibson. At the whistle, manager Ferguson was about to get more bad news. Robson out for a month, just when he was getting back to his best.
You know, things were going well. In training, everything's been going fine, so it's just disappointing that something happens again.
And once again, Robson's new year looks less than happy. Peter Staunton, ITN Sport, Old Trafford.
Elsewhere, despite 2 goals from Clive Allen, he's scored 28 so far this season. Spurs lost a close encounter at Coventry. Cyril Regis grabbed the winner in injury time. England striker Kerry Dixon also got 2 as Chelsea scored their 2nd successive Christmas win. They now move off the bottom of the First Division. Ian Rush was back on target as Liverpool beat Sheffield Wednesday to record their first win at Hillsborough for 16 years. In Scotland, Graham Roberts set up Rangers' first goal. He's already repaid part of his £500,000 transfer from Spurs, as more than 42,000 fans were at Ibrox to see him. Arsenal are now 7 points clear at the top. Both Everton and Nottingham Forest play tomorrow, and they'll be looking to make up the gap. Norwich's win at Old Trafford moves them into 4th spot. Cricket now, and with England in a strong position in the 4th test at Melbourne, Chris Broad joins a very select group. After Hobbs and Hammond, he's now the 3rd England player to have scored centuries in 3 successive tests against Australia. England were 3-4-9 all out in reply to Australia's first innings total of just 141, a lead of 208.
The day began well enough, Gatting battling away and reaching 3,000 runs in Test cricket. And at the other end, Broad, who's finding it difficult not to score hundreds in this series, was plundering runs again. The Australians had their chances, but Boone threw it and Zura completely blew it. But the first ball after lunch brought the breakthrough. Hughes tumbled and Gatting departed for 40. Almost inevitably, Broad reached a century, his 3rd in successive tests. But on 112, Hughes at last found the edge of the Broad bat. His end proved the start of Australia's fight back. The bowlers got stuck in for the first time, sleep forcing Gower into error. And Lamb had made a scratchy 43 before he was put to pasture. The England collapse was halted by a big innings from Small, but in the last over, Edmonds was trapped by McDermott. England were all out, and at last Australia had something to shout about. Mark Austin, ITN Sport, Melbourne.
Tennis, Australia went into a 2-1 lead in the Davis Cup in Melbourne, with Cash and Fitzgerald at times brilliantly beating the Swedes Egberg and Jarrett in 4 sets.
And there it is. 2-1 Australia.
2 singles tomorrow will decide the final. Rugby, a Les Cusworth cross kick and some lucky bounces saw evergreen Dusty Hare score first for Leicester against the Barbarians. The Barbars' best try was a solo effort from Rob Andrew. And their last, after some crisp passing, saw Ian Harrison almost trotting over to give the visitors a 22-18 win. Finally, yachting and off Australia, the giant Condor holds a 2-mile lead on the 2nd day of the Sydney to Hobart race, a contest once won by Edward Heath. Tomorrow, though, the really cutthroat stuff starts again, the semi-finals to select the challenger to the Australians in the America's Cup, alas, without Britain's White Crusader.
That's today's news. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night.
Now let's have a look at the weather for the next couple of days of the holiday period in the central region. There'll be a few clear spells tonight, with temperatures falling to 4 degrees Celsius, 39 Fahrenheit, but later it'll become milder. A little light rain is likely in the morning, but the afternoon should be dry, and it'll also be brighter. It may become mild, with temperatures hitting The real high spots by the look of it, 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The westerly wind, however, will be moderate. The outlook for Monday and Tuesday, mild, cloudy and mainly dry. But some rain is likely later on Tuesday. That's the weather.
New entertainment for the new year on Central. Adrian Mole is back being taught a lesson and still manfully trying to accept life's major disappointments.
Would it be possible to touch your shoulder strap?
No, darling. We must wait until we've got our O-levels.
John Thor stars in an intriguing new trilogy of compulsive mysteries and cases you'll want to crack with Inspector Morse. Nick Owen is after answers too in the brand new Sporting Triangles quiz game. It's a question of comedy with Bernard Cribbins and a hilarious new series, High and Dry. The enigmatic hero who seems to know all the answers, Clint Eastwood, stars in Joe Kidd. Molly Sugden has a few questions she'd like answered in My Husband and I. And there's a stunning new drama series with Judy Lowe and Paul Freeman exploring old love, new passion, and yesterday's dreams. If you're looking for entertainment, the answer is Central.
Love, ambition, and some beautiful action are features of our movie premiere, Flashdance, just a couple of minutes away here on Central.
(1986). Peugeot announced the new 205 1.9 GTI, the latest and most exciting version of a car already voted best small car in the world and winner of the World Rally Championship for the second year in succession. 1986 also saw the launch of the Peugeot 309, the first Peugeot ever to be built in Britain. From launch, it sells even faster than the 205. September, the latest 309, the diesel. In a 24-hour test, this remarkable car establishes no less than 27 national performance and endurance records. 1987, we've only just begun. Peugeot, the lion goes from strength to strength.
For years, man has sought to record and preserve the things which he has created. Philips have developed a compact disc player which uses new technology to give sound quality such that memory becomes absolute fidelity. The CD650 from Philips. Take a closer look.
Doctors say becoming pregnant can be just a matter of timing. There's only one day a month a woman can conceive, the day she ovulates. First Response, a simple home test, reliably predicts that day of ovulation. First Response, available from your chemist now.
Each night as you go to bed, close the door, and that door will hold back almost any fire. It will give you valuable minutes to get out. Leave it open, and it will give you no time at all. Fire. Shut it out. You'll never put it out.
They don't have this beer in London. They don't have this beer in Newcastle.
The boys are back! The boys are back! The boys are back in town! Boys are back in town! The boys are back in town!
Ansells Bittermen. The boys are back in town.
Boys are back!
just couldn't taste. Don't you insist on Walker's crisps?
Follow the spear and get flavor. Follow the spear and have fun. Follow the spear and get Wrigleys spearmint gum. Follow the spear and get flavor. The taste that's number one. Follow the spear and get Wrigleys spearmint gum.
I am the future of the world. I am the hope of my nation. I am tomorrow's people. I am the new inspiration. And we've got a song to sing to you. We've got a message to bring to you. Please let there be for you and for me and tomorrow. Tomorrow. If we all can agree, there'll be sweet harmony. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we all will be there. Coca-Cola to share. Feelings so real and so true. So real and so true. Promise us tomorrow. And we'll build a better world for you.
Make your mind up with style and class.
Stay single-minded right to the last.
Gonna be there when they pour it out. Yeah. Taste is what it's all about. Tennents does the fast and cool. Tennents does the golden rule. Tennents does the taste to choose. The taste to choose. The taste to choose. The taste to choose.
For 7 days only at the Allied sale, there's fantastic half-price offers on carpets and curtains. It's on now and stores are open New Year's Day, and you won't get a better deal.
The supreme champion at Crufts 1986, Airedale Terrier Ginger Christmas Carol. Like so many of Britain's outstanding dogs, she's fed on Pedigree Chum and Pedigree Chum Mixer. Pedigree Chum nourishment, firm and meaty through and through.
Emma won Best in Shirt Crafts, which was absolutely amazing. And she couldn't have done that without the help of good food.
Pedigree Chum. No wonder top breeders recommend it.
Now this is a lovely fine, marvellous mock maple.
Should have gone to Radio Rentals. Why, with their latest deal, you get a new TV every 18 months.
He's kidding.
No, sir. And it won't cost you extra penny in rental. Wouldn't buy if I were you. Nope.
Push-button controls?
Is renting a better idea than
With Radio Rentals, yes. Everyone wants to stay abreast of new life.
Should have gone to Radio Rentals. Should have gone to Radio Rentals. With Radio Rentals, a chap can pay you.
If you'd like a new TV every 18 months, go to Radio Rentals.
When there's a cough in the family, that's the time to get out the Buttercup. Buttercup soothes, comforts, and relieves. Tastes nice too. Buttercup, a name the whole family can trust.
It's the smooth, clean taste that makes Long Life the different beer.
Quick, head for the fridge.
Given the choice, most people would rather enjoy a Long Life.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. With Scotch's lifetime guarantee. Take what you want both night and day. Then re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
Every recording as good as the first, or we'll give you a new tape.
you can watch Scotch forever.
Re-record, not fade away.
About this bill. It's not the parts, it's the labour, see. Have you any idea how long it takes?
No. But I know a man who does.
Well, do you know how to get Gerald to Chester without going under any low bridges?
No. But I know a man who does.
So, it's two cars welded together.
Three? Actually, Ron.
And as we've got all your money, can you afford to take us to court? No, but I know a man who can.
Not this time. But I know a man who can.
Whatever your motoring problem, you'll find the answer is joining the AA. The AA, we're all you need to know.
Hey, can I help you?
Can you tell me where I can get hold of an exhaust for a 1937 roast Talbot Tourer?
No, I can't. But we've got a man who can.
Standard Life's investment expertise can help your money grow with tax-efficient saving schemes. Everybody needs the peace of mind that comes when Standard Life looks after your money and your future. Standard Life, for all of your life.
People of the United Kingdom, your attention, please. Very soon, the opportunity to buy shares in a major British company comes to you. The company is British Airways. To be sure you receive a prospectus and application form, ring 01200 1000, day or night. Or send off the coupon in your newspaper. The British Airways share opportunity, 01200 1000.
Martini Rosa. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Every day, milk begins arriving at dawn to be whisked into Eden Vale French-style yogurt. The goodness of fresh fruit is squeezed into our strawberry, apricot, and lemon. Vanilla, too, each one set to perfection. Eden Vale French-style yogurt. It's the cream of the country.
Glove Story. The Taste of Tonight from Cadbury's.
Paracetamol pain relief syrup for children relieves your child's toothaches and other pains. And it's made by Boots.
What a relief.
Birmingham International is your kind of airport with your kind of destinations for a more relaxing start to your holiday and a flying start to your business trip. At Birmingham International, it's your world. And what a small world it is.
One day, Tom Carter got caught cold checking stock. It was 100 years before they found him. His first request was for a pint of Banksy's Bitter. Its unique character was perfectly preserved, and in no time at all, he was steaming. Banksy's Bitter, completely unspoiled by progress.
Now I'm on my way, and I hope things turn out fine. Still a lot to be learned, but I know I can turn to those people who are there all the time. With my friends on my side, I'll take it all in my stride, 'cause my friends on my side today. Don't care if it's cloudy or bright, go out there and I'll be alright. Just as long as it's you, ain't a thing I can't do. Everything's gonna be okay, 'cause I've got my friends on my side today. Yes, I've got my friends on my side today.
Yeah, yeah. And I had to beat stage fright. I had to cry all night, trying to make a song big when you know it never was right.
Superstar Tina Turner in concert. Make a date with